This is Charlotte, and this is Chatting with Charlotte, where I share conversations, life hacks, and inspirations to help you on your healing journey from childhood trauma. And today is the last episode of my series, Grief is Complicated. And today we're going to talk about a time to grieve and a time to laugh. So, how is that even possible, you might be asking? Well, what I want to share with you in this final episode is grief does not affect everyone in the same way. And as I talked about on Monday, or on Wednesday, I'm sorry, grief hits you at different times in your life, and grief is not linear. So, how everybody grieves differently, and you have times when it's time to grieve. Like I talked about on Wednesday, that things hit you and you really need to focus on grief. You need to focus on the experience of grief. And then there's other times where you just enjoy life. And there are times for both of those. And when you first lose someone, it's really difficult to conceive of that. And sometimes you feel guilty for feeling happy and feeling joy. I mean, I know that was my experience. But it's really okay, because in Ecclesiastes, it says there's a time to laugh and a time to grieve, and several other things in that particular scripture. But it's important that you understand and allow yourself to take the time you need to grieve. And so what does that look like? Well, it may mean that you're going to have to wait a while to sort through your loved one's belongings because you can't deal with it right away. Now, some people like me, I went through everything immediately because that's what I needed to do. But I am not going to tell you that that's what you need to do. And you also need to be careful that you take time to recover before you make any major decisions. That's incredibly important, because your mind is not functioning well, and you will make bad choices during that season. That's just makes sense that you would. But allow yourself time to grieve and allow the grief to come, because it is so, so important to do that. Now, how can you move past grief? Well, in reality, you don't completely ever get over grief. And I think I've shared this in a previous video, that my supervisor at the time that John passed away had lost her husband suddenly just a few years before. And I asked her, I said, when does it get better? And she told me, it doesn't get better, it just gets different. And that's really true. It doesn't necessarily get better, it just gets different, because the loss is always there. It's always, that person is just gone. And especially if it's your spouse, because when your spouse dies, literally a part of you is gone. Because when you marry someone, the best of them and the best of you come together. They make you a better person, you make them a better person. And when that's gone, that element is also gone. So it takes some adjusting to regroup, and it takes time. But there will be a time that you will laugh, and you'll laugh during the moments right after grief, right after the loss. And that's really okay as well, because that is a normal reaction. When you think of a funny thing, or you think of something that happened with your lost loved one, that makes you smile, that is a good thing, and it's healthy, and it's okay. So just allow yourself those things. The other thing is, be sure, as I said on Wednesday, that you have people in your life that will allow you to talk about your loved one. And this is not just at the time of the loss, but years later, that they will let you talk about that person, that they will encourage you to do so, because that is healing, and that is also very, very important. And finally, I want to just give you the website that of an organization that is just absolutely fantastic in as a support group. It's griefshare.org, and there are groups at churches all over the country, support groups. It's a program that you go through, but it's a lifelong asset and support system. So if you're struggling with grief right now, check out their website, griefshare.org. It's across the bottom of the screen right now. And I think that you will find that will be a really good resource. They have an email devotion that you can subscribe to that comes out every day. And I've actually resubscribed to that a couple of times since John died. And it's just a lot of encouragement. So those are the kinds of things and thoughts that I would like to leave with you. I'd also like to encourage you to visit my website, charlottethomason.com, and you can get more information and read more blogs and essays. You can connect to my YouTube channel there and see some other videos that I've done on grief. And just you can subscribe to that and hear and be able to get all the updates on my book, which is available at Amazon.com. It's What Kind of Love Is This? Finding God in the Darkness. And I would encourage you to do that as well. Please subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. And I thank you for watching, and have a great, great day.